is up, everybody? This is Julian, or you can call me JP, and I'm representing JP Fitness, and today I'm here to talk about why low-carb diets are bad. You may have seen someone else do a video about this, advocating that they're good, someone else saying that they're bad. I'm here to put my input on it. Again, if you have multiple people saying the same thing, it's gonna have a greater effect versus just one person saying it. To start, carbs, carbohydrates, potatoes, pasta, vegetables, are high-intensity fuel. They are fuel for high-intensity exercise. For example, a bench press, pull-ups, sprints, things that are high-intensity, our body uses carbohydrates as a primary fuel source. Or you can also think of carbs as an immediate fuel source. They are our immediate fuel source. It's the first thing that our body uses as fuel when we're doing something. In a weird way, that's kind of the opposite of fats, which fats, there's multiple functions of fat, but fat, one of the functions of fat is it's a low intensity fuel source. So if you're doing long distance jogging, eventually our body's gonna convert to using fat as fuel for a primary source. One thing to point out is that at no point during any exercise is one fuel source completely used. So even if you're doing the high intensity thing, the most high intensity thing you can think of, like an all-out sprint for just 20-30 seconds, and then you stop, your body, on some level, through other processes, your body is going to be using fat as fuel. So regardless of what you're doing, like for example, if you're doing a really long walk or a long race, your body's still going to be using carbohydrates. It may primarily be using fats, but your body's still going to be using carbohydrates. So it's not like a switch. It's not like the second you do sprints, you're no longer using fat. Your body's always using them to some extent. It's just what is it using more predominantly, and that's based off what exercise you're doing. Protein itself is mainly, and the best way to think of protein is it is mainly a structural unit of non-bone tissues. So when you think of muscle, this is the first thing that comes to mind. Muscle is made up of protein. So think of protein as a structural unit. There are many other functions of protein, but again, one of the main functions is to be a structural unit, and I want you to think of it that way because it kind of helps understand, why are low carb diets bad? The main reason, which ties into protein being a structural unit, is that our bodies have a natural protein sparing mechanism for fuel. For example, our body doesn't want to use protein as fuel normally. If you don't have other fuel sources, and to survive, our body will have to or may need to use protein as a fuel through gluconeogenesis. Gluconeogenesis is a process that turns fat and protein into carbohydrates when our body needs carbohydrates. For example, our brain runs primarily off of blood glucose for fuel. So if you're not getting enough carbohydrates, let's just say you're on some type of low carb diet where you're getting no carbs, your brain and your body is gonna find a way to get carbohydrates whether or not you're eating them. And one of those mechanisms is by gluconeogenesis. It starts off by your body saying, I'm not getting any glucose. I have no blood glucose. I need to keep a steady amount of blood glucose ready so you don't get hypoglycemic. And your brain needs it too. It needs blood glucose for fuel. So what it does is it starts breaking down muscle tissue. Your muscle tissue starts becoming catabolic. Catabolic just means to break down. And it starts to break down fats. And through gluconeogenesis in the liver and to a lesser extent in the kidneys, it turns them into blood glucose so your body can use it as fuel wherever it needs it, like I said, in the brain. So your brain is going to get the glucose it needs through efficient means from eating carbs or through inefficient means like gluconeogenesis. So again, your body's going to get that no matter what. So if you want to start breaking down muscle tissue and other things like that, then that's what happens when you do a low carb diet. That is one of the main reasons why you shouldn't do it. Again, you don't want to break down muscle tissue. Our goal is to gain muscle. So those 2 points kind of tie in together again. And also too, what happens is when you break down muscle tissue, your overall caloric expenditure, your daily caloric expenditure is going to drop down. So for example, if you see someone with a lot of muscle and at rest they're burning like 2,200 calories or something like that, that's just a number, whatever, anyone, and then they start going on a low carb diet, and their muscle starts degrading because, again, it starts breaking down, becoming catabolic because they're on a low-carb diet. Again, they're going to start burning less calories at rest throughout the day, which, again, that's not your goal. Your goal is to, keep fat low. Most people work out. They want to gain muscle. They want to be strong. They want to be fit. They want to be fast. And a low-carb diet is not the way to do that. Another huge point for low carb diets and why you should not do them, and it ties back to this top point here, is that carbs are high intensity fuel or an immediate energy source. Again, if you're doing a high intensity exercise and your body needs to stabilize blood glucose and you're not getting blood glucose through food, like through carbohydrates, starchy carbohydrates, fibrous carbohydrates, then your body's going to get them through breaking down protein or using fat through gluconeogenesis. But getting carbohydrates through gluconeogenesis is not as efficient as just eating carbohydrates. It's not. At some point, your body's not going to be able to keep up. So since carbs are high intensity fuel and they are an immediate energy source, when you want to do high intensity exercise, let's just say you want to go and kick ass at the gym or something, you just want to murder some weights, you know, fuck some shit up, whatever it is. You want to get stronger, you want to break a plateau, break a PR. A PR means personal record, whatever exercise you're doing. You want to up your excess post-oxygen consumption to burn more calories throughout the day. Again, if you do high intensity exercise, it helps burn more calories throughout the day. So if you want to be able to, go really hard at the gym, you cannot do that efficiently with low carbs. I mean, ask any really high strength athlete, ask any really intelligent bodybuilder. They're going to tell you you need carbs at some point. There's no way that you can just never eat carbs. It doesn't make any sense. So basically, if you want to build muscle, if you want to work hard at the gym to be able to break down muscle tissue efficiently, to build muscle by eating, you need carbohydrates. If you don't eat carbohydrates, you're not going to do as good at the gym. And again, it leads to a motivational factor. If you go to the gym and you're not breaking any PRs, you're staying at the same weight, you feel tired, you feel depressed, do you really think that's going to want you to keep going to the gym? No. And again, that's what's going to happen if you're not eating carbohydrates. So again, reduced exercise efficiency and reduced exercise intensity is going to, in turn, not help you gain muscle, not help you break any PRs, not help you reach those fitness goals that you have. Again, you need carbohydrates to be able to do that. Again, on top of that, you need muscle to be able to do that. So if you want to gain muscle, then I wouldn't be on a low-carb diet. Another thing, too, that's related to all this is that, again, carbs, your body needs to stabilize its blood sugar levels. So if you're not eating carbs, at some point, your body can get carbs through gluconeogenesis, but it's not going to be able to keep up. So if you're doing a workout one day and you're deciding to go really hard because you want to, like I said, break a PR or whatever, but you are on a low-carb diet and your body cannot keep up with those blood glucose levels, be able to stabilize efficiently, you can, again, become hypoglycemic, you can go unconscious, blackout, and I'm pretty sure that there has been people who have gone into a seizure who maybe even died from that. So again, your brain runs off of it. If you wanna stay healthy and not risk something dangerous happening, again, I would not be on a low-carb diet. That's another reason why. Think about blood sugar levels. If you want to have an even blood sugar level, especially when you're exerting yourself during a workout, you don't want to be on a low-carb diet. Again, another thing I quoted right here is people say, well, I want to stay away from carbs because they spike insulin, which is going to prevent some type of insulin spike with the rapid absorption of those carbohydrates. So again, when you eat things with fiber, you need to keep that in mind. Oh, there's fiber in it. It's going to slow the rate of digestion. So when people say things like, oh, well, the banana or some type of fruit has carbohydrates, it has sugar in it, it's going to make me spike insulin or it's going to make me fat. No, that's not the truth because it has fiber in it. It kind of counteracts the normal hyperglycemic effect that sugar is going to have real quick, and then you're going to have to spike insulin to deal with that type of sugar overload. But you got to think about carbohydrates in that main point. So again, when people say, oh, it spikes insulin, it makes you fat, sugar's going to, no, it does not. If you're eating healthy, not processed carbohydrates, vegetable carbohydrates, pasta carbohydrates, things like that, starchy carbohydrates, you should not have a problem, especially if you're working out too. If you're working out effectively, your body's going to know how to utilize nutrients more efficiently. Again, if you like these videos, I'd really appreciate it if you like, share, and subscribe, share with a friend, please. I know I don't have many subscriptions right now, but again, you can check my channel. I've been steadily putting out videos. You're going to have 2 every week. Just to tell you guys again, if you don't know, I am a certified personal trainer through the National Council on Strength and Fitness. I can't take the test yet, but I also am studying for the Certified Strength and Conditioning Specialist certification. So I am studying for the CSCS. Again, I'm only my first year of college, or I just finished my first year of college. So when I get my bachelor's degree, I'm going to take that, but I love studying. I study all the time. I'm studying ahead. To me, it's interesting. So if you have any questions or any topics you want on the video, please let me know down below. Please get a friend to watch this. I'd really appreciate it. So until next time, peace.